Hello everyone, you know what time it is. Today we are discussing how intelligent is every Better Call Saul character. I wasn't entirely sure to make this video, but you guys asked me, and I can't refuse. So let's start. We are starting with Lalo. One Salamanca who absolutely earns a spot up there is that smooth-talking devil Lalo. Behind that affable charm lies a cunning mastermind who outplays even the savviest opponents at every turn. It's great seeing non-Breaking Bad characters getting limelight in the show. Take his brazen ploy sneaking across the Mexican border in the truck's undercarriage just to do aerial recon on Gus's operation. Most mobsters stop at sending goons, but tactical pioneer Lalo vigilantly spearheads missions himself. His savagery is actually a plus point for him. Lalo also rapidly earned his Harvard law degree on the streets, mastering legal technicalities to exploit loopholes law enforcement constantly overlooks, like leveraging client confidentiality privileges to coerce lawyers into damaging alliances. His legal knowledge paired with that silky gift of gab makes Lalo an expert manipulator in interrogation rooms and courtrooms alike. And what about Lalo's Sherlock Holmes-esque gift for noticing clues no one else sees to piece together the big picture? Like when barely anyone linked the travel wire theft to Gus's operation, Lalo made that call in minutes based on hunches alone that always hit pay dirt. Ruthlessly astute. So while the Salamancas rely more on savagery than smarts typically, cunning virtuoso Lalo breaks the mold big time. Bow down before his brilliance. Genius tier. Next is Mike. Mike may seem like just a tough, by-the-books ex-cop on Better Call Saul, but the dude has some serious smarts once you scratch beneath that craggy exterior. He didn't rise up to become Gus Fring's trusted fixer just because he's handy with a sniper rifle. Mike has more street smarts and logic than a university professor. For starters, Mike has near Sherlock Holmes levels of attention to detail. Give him a crime scene for 10 minutes, and he'll deduce exactly what went down faster than you can say elementary. He always sees angles no one else picks up on, like how he instantly pinpointed Nacho was behind attempts on Hector's life when no one else caught on. That's some next-level perception. Mike also kickstarted his own regular money laundering operation with staging phony car accidents, running collections, and managing accounts. Building profitable criminal rackets takes some economic and management brains. The dude even learned Spanish fluently in a few months just to tap new hustling opportunities. Now that's dedication. And we can't forget Mike playing 4D chess with the Salamanca organization, literally running strategic circles around angry cartel bosses like Juan Bolsa while protecting Gus's operation. Outsmarting lethal kingpins takes intellect and nerve. So while Mike avoids technical books or academic pursuits, his sharper-than-a-Ginsu tactical mind, mental calculation, and resource management capabilities prove he deserves major smarty-pants cred. Anyone who can decode the streets like Mike has got tons of raw intelligence. Next is Kim. Like her legal partner Jimmy, whip-smart Kim Wexler is not a dumb character. She got brain power. Remember Kim juggling dozens of Mesa Verde expansion plans simultaneously and still catching tiny errors her whole team missed? That's some next-level multitasking focus. And who transformed a routine Huell misdemeanor into precedent-setting legal reform? Legal Eagle Kim, that's who. Her creative schmoozing securing the Kettlemans as clients too showed silver-tongued dexterity. Intelligent tier. Next up, Chuck. No one doubts super lawyer Chuck McGill's formidable legal intellect on Better Call Saul. Before his condition, Chuck was New Mexico's top legal heavyweight, with encyclopedic case knowledge and a spotless track record. He makes the high end of the intelligent category for sure. Chuck displays near-photographic legal memory and razor-sharp mental faculties analyzing dense documents, remembering episode numbers of precedent without notes. His law library brain was unmatched at HHM before Howard's betrayal. However, Chuck's crippling anxiety hinders his adaptability, costing clients and limiting his brilliance entering new arenas like litigation. And his inability to foresee Jimmy's creative workarounds despite Chuck's conventional mastery reveal intellectual blind spots too. Still mighty sharp though. I think I'll go with intelligent tier. Saul Goodman is next, and remember my analysis will be little different here compared to Breaking Bad. While Jimmy boasts improvisation, his criminal alter ego Saul Goodman lands lower, in the somewhat intelligent zone. I don't believe Saul reached his prime here. He was still pretty naive. Don't get me wrong, Slippin' Jimmy's underdog hustle that built his sketchy empire shows strategic moxie for sure. But between Saul's glaring blind spots with Walt and Jesse, and slipping standards entering seedier circles, his intellect seems less refined than in his Chuck awing days, I believe. Saul ultimately leans more towards showmanship than nuanced smarts as his career progresses. For all his ostentatious legal bravado, Saul doesn't shine as Brightman Bright Award material, but he can still finesse a plea deal from time to time if needed. Let's move on to next one. Nacho. Sharp-eyed pretty boy, Nacho Varga makes his mark in the intelligent tier. Behind that brooding swagger lies a strategic thinker navigating the cartel trade better than most. Gotta have brains to survive cutthroat Juarez. Sure, Nacho relies on brawn strong-arming rivals plenty too, but it takes calculated cunning to orchestrate sneaky side hustles under watchful Salamanca eyes without detection. And not many could pull that tricky pill switch against ruthless Hector either. Gotta respect Nacho's nerve. That is, until plot armor finally ran out thanks to some sharper sharks in the game. R.I.P. Still, staying alive as long as he did doing delicate dirt in the shadows? Pretty brainy in my book. Betsy Kettleman. Don't think we need to analyze her much. In the intellect department, Betsy Kettleman gets marked solid dumb grade. Sure, Betsy built up Craig's accounting career nicely enough pre-embezzlement, but those stolen earnings sure didn't buy Betsy any extra mental watts. I mean, who tries fleeing town hiding cash in a family minivan with the parking brake on? Was Betsy trying to set a new county record for dumbest getaway driver or what? And nearly macing a PI to death for some photos? Not exactly criminal mastermind caliber moves. And Betsy found out the hard way, trying to bully legal geniuses like Kim Wexler rarely ends well for amateur hour swindlers. Perhaps should have kept the station wagon in park, Betsy. I expected more bean-counting brains from an accountant's bride. I'm going with dumb tier, Stacy Ehrmantraut. As the daughter of Mike Ehrmantraut, running genuine support groups and balancing tricky family dynamics with poise showed emotional smarts. That knack for reading people's needs makes Stacy average on the BCS Brainiac scale. Like when she saw her dad still longed for purpose post-Philly PD. Stacy's suggestion leading Mike to his Grupo Vamanos calling was some A-grade emotional IQ. Could have been a savvy therapist had Breaking Bad not broken families instead. Your favorite character is next, Gustavo Fring. When it comes to intellect amongst Better Call Saul power players, meth kingpin Gustavo Fring sits squarely in the top genius tier. Like there's no doubt in that. Everything about Gus's rise from chicken fast food manager to calculating drug lord mastermind required relentless cunning. Gus buys smarts in bulk. First, operating high-stakes cartel supply chains under constant threat requires logistics genius. Gus masterfully balanced production, security, distribution with Swiss watch precision. And he masked it all, hiding operations in plain sight for years through Los Palos Hermanos' huge financial success. Building all that from scratch is monumental mental prowess. Outsmarting lethal Salamanca heat and DEA scrutiny simultaneously for ages also proves next-level strategic mastery. And we know Gus can mix leadership savvy with chemistry brilliance overseeing genius-level creators like Gail Boetticher too. About the only intellectual blind spot Gus had was underestimating just how cunning Walter White could be. But even Heisenberg barely bested Fring in the end. Formidable genius grade all around. Hector Salamanca. You know who he is. As the gravel-voiced godfather of the Salamanca syndicate, one might expect Hector to have intellect. Unlike calculated peers like Gus or Juan Bolsa, Hector relies more on fear, savagery, and loyalty to family codes rather than strategic mastery. He failed to adapt to shifts in the drug game, whether discrediting Gus's rising influence early or missing signs of deception amongst his own until it was far too late. And for all his boastful gravitas, nearly getting bested by Nacho's fake heart attack showed glaring mental vulnerability. Hector's choleric arrogance made him an easily manipulable brute for those with genuine strategic vision. Tough as nails, but average intelligence beside other kingpins. I think I'll drop him to somewhat intelligent. Francesca Liddy is next. As Jimmy Saul Jean's steadfast assistant extraordinaire, Francesca Liddy earns props for having intellect slightly above average compared to most characters. Let me explain. While not lawyer-tier genius status, Francesca held that messy office together for years juggling a phone line circus, keeping Saul's burner distribution running like clockwork, and organizing mountains of critical banking client info while fending off shady characters constantly. Girl had a mind for details. And we all saw Francesca quick-wittedly navigate the ALA takedown inquisition and Jean's rising pressure with commendable calm before snapping into action escaping. She knows how to read the room and people better than most. Francesca ultimately takes too much guff simply for doing her thankless job extremely well under stressful secrecy for too long. Her above-average mental management skills kept Saul Goodman Enterprises from completely crashing without enough credit. Francesca deserves smart props. Somewhat intelligent tier. Paige Novick. Alright, handling cartel crossing supply chain logistics and personnel issues competently already shows sharp operations skills. But reading something suspicious about Lyle's true ambitions and pushing back on his overreach hints, Paige has great instincts too. She knows things don't add up with Fring's front. I mean, Paige deals with everything from quarreling Germans to suspiciously specific fast food orders daily while keeping her cool. Multitasking combination intellect-emotional smarts are vital in her world. We'll see if Paige uncovers Gus's whole enterprise someday with those steely nerves. For now, somewhat intelligent. Next is Huell. I love this guy. As Saul's hulking bodyguard with a heart of gold, sweet-natured Huell seems to have more muscles than advanced mental aptitude. We gotta rank the big guy dumb on the intelligence scale. Love ya, Huell. Sure, Huell knows his strengths. Nameless scowling menacingly to deter would-be attackers and faithfully standing watch over bags of cash for days. But the man mostly prefers napping to thinking. Next is Rich Schweikart. As managing banking partner of rival and far classier law firm Schweikart & Coakley, Rich earns major mental props for all those shrewd Machiavellian moves against HHM and Ice Station Zebra associates later. Sly Silver Fox, outmaneuvering Howard non-stop while maintaining polished country club decorum, showed true strategic artistry. And who else could transform Kim's traumatized shadow into his own rising legal phenom so smoothly? That's talent cultivation at its finest. Rich Hassigal layered mind, always weighing likely outcomes 5 moves ahead with sprinklings of wisdom as needed. Underestimating legal kingpin Rich Schweikart certainly takes above-average intellect, which few in the BCS verse seem to possess. Intelligent tier. Tuco. Tuco lacks the mental faculties and impulse control of cooler heads in the cartel world. Tuco still earns somewhat intelligent tier. Homeboy belongs in anger management classes more than business meetings. Prone to snorting lines of his own inventory and flying into homicidal rages quicker than Uncle Tio's bell ding-dinging, Tuco lacks any strategic vision beyond what torture methods haven't been tried yet today. No management savvy whatsoever beyond scaring small fries into submission. And who nearly kills the region's top meth cook over minor payment quibbles before realizing the golden cash cow he possessed? Meathead Tuco, that's who. Sorry, Tuco, but core business decision-making prowess somewhat intelligent tier. Tyrus. As Gus Fring's cold-blooded right-hand security enforcer, stoic Tyrus may not be a creative chemist or inspire with visionary speeches. But make no mistake, the man's menacing intelligence-gathering capabilities and quick tactical thinking make him a cut above average. How many could track cartel supply lines and Los Palos transports with Tyrus's hawk-eyed precision? And who else would notice Nacho's suspicious safe-house detour mid-desert convoy? Tyrus's hyper-vigilant threat assessment constantly impresses. Add masterful combat capabilities and covert surveillance expertise, and Tyrus is likely one of the smartest silent assassin types going. He may just quietly take out all his swaggering Salamanca superiors while they preen. Never underestimate a thinking man's menacing henchman. Somewhat intelligent tier. Victor. As an enforcer and fixer for Gustavo Fring, calculating Victor makes his mark as an intellectually above-average threat compared to the more trigger-happy Salamanca muscle, a cunning right-hand man. In addition to his combat versatility handling threats, Victor demonstrates focused acumen managing complex Los Polos Hermanos illicit transportation operations below the radar. Meticulous coordination there to impress precision-oriented superiors like Gus. We also see Victor uncover the explosive impact shady lawyer Saul Goodman has on their operations through relentless tracking most enforcers would abandon. And who surprises Mike Ehrmantraut at gunpoint using creative ambush strategy? Sneaky Victor, that's who. Always thinking steps ahead. He wasn't still as bright as Tyrus, but somewhat intelligent tier is still where he belongs. Werner Ziegler. We are almost done. So let's about this guy too. Werner's prodigious gift envisioning the ambitious covert lab's development with precision and passion is unmatched amongst his peers. His radical problem-solving instincts observe challenges from novel angles few would conceive. And Werner's leadership organizing such a complex and delicate excavation on a rigid secret schedule keeps everyone precisely on task. dude definitely belongs to intelligent tier. So this was my tier list for Breaking Bad intelligent tier list. I think I forgot some characters, but let's stick to these for now. Let me know in the comments what you think about the following and where you rank certain ones or not. Everything. See ya in the next one.